Yo, what's up guys, the Insane Game Freak here to bring you, I guess you could call this a somewhat discussion video. So, someone put in the comments, I think in one of my recent videos, like, oh, you haven't done an anime video in a while. I'm like, yeah, I think I haven't done an anime video in a while. I think the last thing I did was that Nisekoi review, which, when it comes to anime reviews, I've noticed it kind of gauges in terms of how many people give a shit, depends on what the anime is, but that's neither here or there, it's just something I noticed. And I think one of the things, even this new season I'm picking up, I realized there's this one type of anime I've been looking for that I haven't found. And I think it explains my attitude towards a lot of other shows. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I first got into anime, there was a common theme over all the animes I was watching during the time. Like when I first started watching Zatch Bell, when I first started watching Mare and Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and Yu-Gi-Oh! In general, actually. They all felt like cliche. Well, at the time they didn't feel cliched, but I'll put it this way. Looking at them objectively now, they're all really basic, well, except for maybe the original Yu-Gi-Oh! That's why I probably say I like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX more than I like regular Yu-Gi-Oh! They were all chill shows. Like shows that had a sense of urgency and had some type of threat and, you know, had all the basic had the basic recipe for like being taken somewhat seriously but never got taken fully seriously. And I noticed for some reason after a point, even when I was first watching One Piece felt the same way to me. Those type of shows just kind of went away. Like either I would get the clichédness, but I wouldn't get the same amount of heart, or I would get the heart, but I wouldn't get the cliche. But it would be like a completely different type of show. And I started wondering, is that the reason why I started going like more romance and ecchi type of shit? Well, ecchi. When I say romance, I'm referring to ecchi too, because, you know, contrary to popular belief, I don't watch ecchi for masturbation material. I know no one's gonna believe me. That's fine, whatever. But that's how I feel. I kind of like I like the setup for the romances and harems. Okay, that's not the point. The point is that I started delving into more of the lighter, harder stuff, even comedy anime. Because the one thing I couldn't stand that I was missing is that chilled out show. Like everything nowadays is like dark and gritty and shit. And, I know a lot of people kind of get on me about like, oh, you don't like Attack on Titan, oh, you didn't like Kill la Kill, oh, you don't like the serious shit, or when I did the first impressions of Kame ga Kill a few days ago, oh, you don't like dark stuff. It's not that I don't like dark stuff, I think I'm just missing that chilled out show. Like I'm missing a chilled out, basic ass shonen that isn't taking itself ridiculously seriously, which is probably why I've also caught myself rereading Hiding Closer, because Hiding Closer feels like one of those type of shows. God, I wish I could an anime adaptation, for God's sakes. I don't think I am, but you know, it's a dream, it's a pipe dream I have. Fuck it. I've been reading that. I've been reading Itsawari Bito, because apparently they finally started doing scanlations of that thing, so I can actually find it online. I'm still buying the volumes. Don't get me wrong. I was just bored one day and I found out it was online and I just started reading a whole bunch of chapters. I'm looking for more of that chilled out show that has that same type of heart. Hiding Closer is probably the closest I've gotten. Because everything else, Itsawari Bito has kind of a weird type of humor and style to it, so I don't necessarily put it in the same genre as I would put something like Mare or Zatch Bell, which I think are probably the classic examples of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a modern day Mare or Zatch Bell, like an adventure manga that doesn't treat me like I'm retarded, but doesn't take itself insanely seriously. Like a lot of people always ask me why I like GX over the original Yu-Gi-Oh! I like the original Yu-Gi-Oh! But the one thing I've noticed I keep saying every time I say why I don't like Yu-Gi-Oh! Because at a certain point Yu-Gi-Oh! Started taking itself way too seriously. Now technically you could argue that's the dub's fault because the original Japanese was always serious, which is probably true. The dub made me think of Yu-Gi-Oh! As lighthearted, so when it started taking itself insanely seriously, I couldn't. And yeah, you could argue it's always been serious because, you know, the god cards and the entrapping people's souls and the fucking millennium items and shit. I don't know, maybe it's because I didn't start noticing it until I got older as I grew up with the show. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX kind of got back to the chilled out days of just fucking around. I've even caught myself rewatching episodes from those shows like that and Pokemon the Horn region, Advanced Battle and shit. I missed that. I missed that chilled mode. And a lot of people are gonna argue, well, I mean, those animes are still around. I mean, you have Fairytale and Toriko. Toriko has a dumb premise that I can't take seriously enough. And people gotta understand, I know there's a lot of One Piece and Toriko comparisons, especially with the world building that Toriko does, and I'm not hating on Toriko because of it, because I haven't read Toriko like that. I've read like part of the first volume. I haven't read enough of Toriko to make that statement. But Toriko, the difference between One Piece and Toriko is that Toriko is coming out the gate trying to build a world and trying to make things super amazing and shit. Whereas One Piece was simple. One Piece kept it simple. It's like you met this dude on a boat, fucking want to become pirate king, you sail to an island, you deal with some shit, you sail to another island, you deal with some shit. They didn't start throwing in this whole world thing and the admirals and the navy and the marines and shit until like maybe after Arlong. Yeah, after Arlong Park is when they really started pushing it. And even then they didn't push it that much. They didn't really start pushing it until like Alabasta. That's when they really started pushing it. And then they knew how, like Oda knew not to kill me, beat me over the head with overworld shit. Because then I don't want to see it. Like if you ease me into it, I'm more interested that way. I still want the main shit to be Straw Hats. The same thing with Mare. Mare didn't fucking beat me over the head with the chess pieces. I mean, they were enemies, but most of the stuff I was doing, most of the stuff Ginta and them were doing was training. You come out the training gate, there's usually some type of chess piece hanging around. You beat their ass, and like, oh look, a tournament. In the tournament, you had all the different types of arum you could use, and the different types of magic. You had to sit there and train your aura and whatnot, and you came in and you fought. It was simple, it was simplistic, but it didn't take itself that seriously to the point in which I couldn't have fun with it. I'm looking for that middle ground. Like Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is another show that could honestly be on that same level. The problem is Fairy Tail tries to mix fan service and cliche shonen. And fan service is not really new to shonen as a genre anyway. I mean, there's a lot of shonens that were originally... There's a lot of ecchi seinens that originally were just shonen, but that just had ecchi in it. But Fairy Tail, once again, kind of suffers from... I feel like Fairy Tail is a little bit too dumbed down for me. And I know a lot of people are going to get mad when I say that. Fairy Tail feels dumbed down. Fairy Tail feels like it's trying to capture the heart of like Mare and fucking Zatchbell with that whole really stupid, I'm not gonna say stupid, really simplistic fighting for your friends monologue and shit. The problem is, Fairy Tail to me, I think pushes ecchi a little bit too much considering the series, and it's kind of hard to take seriously because they don't do... I mean, even Zatchbell understood that you gotta make your characters lose a fight. I mean, your characters can't just always fucking win. I mean, you gotta have some sense of loss. Even Zatchbell was like, fuck it, we're gonna start blowing up characters and shit. Well, Mare didn't do that, but Mare didn't go that far with it. Like, Mare didn't beat me over the head with the full-on friendship thing. Like, you gotta be able to find that balance. Maybe that's what and see, the thing is, I'll go into romance series looking for that kind of shit, because romance series, for all intents and purposes, are more about the characters, and maybe that's what I'm missing. I just miss the interaction. Because a lot of people don't realize, one of the main reasons why I don't like watching dark stuff as much is because even though I can enjoy it from a story aspect, it's a show I never want to rewatch. The Higurashi, I can respect its story, I don't care about rewatching it. Future Diary is the same thing. I read the manga for Future Diary and I have no interest in watching the anime. And I own the anime. I own Future Diary and I just have no interest in watching it. You know why? Because I've already read it. It's a dark ass story. I kind of don't want to read it again. I hate reading dark stories. I'm even debating Watamote getting that because I know... And granted, Watamote is like dark comedy, so that one can kind of slide. But dark series are shows that don't have any rewatch value for me. Because it's like once you know the mind fuck and the plot twist and shit, there is no enjoyment out of it. Unless you just like watching characters get fucked up repetitively. Which, I have to hate the character for that. So like, if you show me an episode of Mikasa getting raped, you know, that's funny. No, that's Super Black Mission. Let me... I'm lying. I'm shot. Oh, God. But yeah, that's my thing. I don't have, you know, this undying hatred of dark series. Dark series just aren't fun to me. Like, to me, the most important thing about watching an anime is either having fun or getting hyped or getting excited. Good stories are good stories. That's why I can enjoy FMA. I feel like FMA is another series that hit that right balance of being serious but also being chilled. So I can kind of coast through it and have fun with it. I gotta rewatch the fuck out of FMA. FMA is G level. Bakuman did the same goddamn thing. Just I want that. I'm missing that in my shonens. And what makes me mad is I feel like those type of shonens are kind of like dying. This is what I said is, Takamagahara felt like that type of show. And it only got to like a volume or two. I think it only got like 2 volumes worth. And I was so mad. It was like, come on now. That was cool. Even Barrage looked like it would be a fun, chill-out shonen. The closest thing I had to that is Nisekoi, and it's cool. Nisekoi is enjoyable, but Nisekoi is obviously stuck in that one realm, and it will never leave that realm until the fucking anime ends. And you know what the realm is this fucking perpetual harem realm, which is entertaining to see different girls. The thing that makes Nisekoi work is the fact that Nisekoi actually, rotates its attention to different girls, so you can enjoy it. Like the latest chapter, with pretty much reinforcing what you already know, that Chitoge loves Raku. Like, legitimately loves Raku. And if you watch the anime, you already knew that, so it's not spoiling anything. Like, that's a simple thing, but it's enjoyable because I know we're not going to get 6 Chitoge goddamn chapters after this. We'll probably move on to Onodera because we had Marika last time, and I think before that was Sugumi, so it'd probably be Onodera's turn, or Haru's, or fucking, I can't think of her name, Paula's, what's it, Yui's. I like the rotation. I like this, I don't know, I'm a sucker for character interaction. And, Chill Out Shonens is kind of how I was introduced to that in the first place. I kind of miss that. I miss it being somewhat serious, but at the same time, not so insanely serious you can have fun with it. That's kind of one of the reasons why I like goofy fights to an extent. I like fights that have very non-conventional means. Like when Jack fought Pano and Mare, where the first time he fought her, the reason why he lost is because he had trapped her with his I forgot what they're called, the something beans, I forgot what they're called. He wraps her in the vines, and then she has like this ball on this stick that she can shoot out, and she shoots it and hits him in the nuts. It's funny to me. And then like the second time they fight, the next fight is he throws the mushrooms on her, and it confuses her, and at some point he just falls in love with her. The shit was hilarious to me. And when he's fighting, I don't know, a lot of Jack's fights are actually really entertaining. Or shit, the scene with Dorothy when he's like, Ginta's like, Dorothy, I don't want you to kill anyone. And she's like, okay. And then they go into the next fight, and she takes out a dagger and cuts the nigga, and the nigga just falls over. And everyone's like, what the fuck? I just said don't kill him. I was, oh, don't worry, I left his vitals intact. And Ginta's like, okay then. Like, and I like that. I like that kind of stupid shit. It's not necessarily the most hardcore thing, but it's entertaining to me. And that's why I like it so much. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I miss those type of shonens, and if anyone has a shonen like that you can recommend to me that carries on that spirit, please, that manga or anime, I don't give a fuck. Hope there's an American version though, but considering how these shows don't seem to do well anymore, I doubt it. Well, we'll see. Anyways, lots of game, play to win, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace off!